Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 14th through the 20th. And during that time, we have a new moon that comes in on the 15th. And that, of course, is good for a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to start any projects, both inner and outer, that you may want to work on. And maybe make new decisions also. So think about that. We then have the waxing crescent energy for the rest of the week. And that's a time of heightened senses when we're trying to live up to those expectations and intentions that we've set for ourselves. So it's a good time to plan and also start taking the first steps towards those things that you've decided to work on for this cycle. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is a time to give rather than take. All right, let's see what that means for the Virgo collective. You guys tend to be very giving anyway, typically. So, and a little harder for you guys to take. So, how am I not shocked? It's funny because that says new moon in Virgo. I don't know what the new moon is in the sign. I really need to, I forget when I look those things up. I'll have it for a second and be like, there it goes. Anyway, as I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you, Virgo, is that you do try to take the time to learn something new this week. It is really good with the moon energy to do that. So think about something that maybe over the last few weeks you've thought, oh, I don't know anything about this topic or whatever it might be, and do a deep dive. Give yourself 2, 3, 4 hours, read a book, maybe attend a lecture on this topic. Anything you do, maybe take a class or start looking around or sign up for a class, but just take the time to do a deep dive on something this week and learn something new. It's something that is, it's really fun. So I think as adults, I'm learning something every day, but I forget to really learn, to really do deep dives like that. So that's my reminder to you guys, and I will take my own advice as well. So, all right, let's get into this reading. Virgo, June 14th through the 20th, a time to give rather than take. Your present energy right now is the Three of Pentacles. So, looks like you're involved in some sort of creative collaboration with somebody, and this could be where the giving starts to come in. Maybe I'm instantly thinking about, like, remember you get put on school projects and there's 3 or 4 people, and you're the one like doing all the work. That sometimes happens. So this could be where you're collaborating, but you do feel like you're kind of getting the ball rolling on things. So go ahead and give that up. It usually comes back to us. So don't worry about that. Just put it out there, do whatever, whatever is required there, even if you feel like you're doing a little bit more than others that are involved as well. Your current situation is the Hangman. So you're doing this creative collaboration, but you're also learning and gaining a new perspective. And maybe that perspective is that, this one's helping other people are more helpful than others. It could be that you're, really getting to know someone through this process, through this creative collaboration that maybe you haven't known before. So your mind is changing, and hopefully for the positive, about them. Maybe you had some you had some sort of idea of who they were, and you start working with them and you learn, oh, I was totally wrong about that. So that's just kind of making sure that you take on that new perspective and look at things from a different angle, and let it change you. Right at the root of your situation is at the same for, I think, Leo. I've seen this card quite a bit. Are we in, I guess it is June, we are in wedding season. So a lot of weddings and celebrations and things going on. This is the card of wedding, but this is at the root of your situation this week. And it could be that you are, I think there was another reading too. There's quite a few. Again, I've seen this card a bit, and also the Three of Pentacles. So maybe you're involved in some sort of celebration. Maybe you're in a wedding party. Maybe you're getting married yourself. There might be friends, family, things that you're doing. But again, it might be creative collaboration, and the fact that you're helping with decorations or you're doing some creative thing for this party or the celebration. So whatever that is, have fun with it. In your in your past here is the Eight of Cups. So it looks like you're open to moving forward and seeking things out. So that's a good attitude to take into the month and to this week. What is on your mind this week is the King of Pentacles. So you're feeling very on top of it when it comes to, pentacles can be about money, but they can also be just about material things. But if you're, the king energy is about just so much knowledge about it. And maybe that's why you are opening up and sharing things. And if it's a time for you to give, because you do tend to have that sort of thing under control, then go ahead and do that. Be as generous as you need to be. What is just ahead of you this week is the Two of Cups. So coming together in friendship and partnership, that's ahead of you. I love this week. I think you're going to have a fun week, whatever the celebration is, whatever this collaboration. I feel like there's other people involved and around you. You've got quite a few people showing up in your reading here. So I like this. This could be an old friend that you're coming in contact with, a family member you haven't seen for a while, but definitely take the time. You're going to know who that person is, and you're going to want to go get in a corner and just catch up and talk. And so find that person and do that. In your advice position here is the Ace of Pentacles. So, the Ace of Pentacles is kind of about a new financial opportunity, and then maybe just a new material opportunity. Maybe that comes from this friend, maybe that comes from this collaboration, maybe it comes just because you're in this king energy where you feel like you're very knowledgeable. So, this could be new money coming in for whatever reason, maybe a conversation that you have, but it also could be just a new material thing. Maybe you're thinking about buying a car and someone at this party lets you know that this thing is going on, and somebody has a car for sale or something along those lines, something material that somehow you get there because of other people in these conversations. So all right, so let's see what is beyond your control this week is that things are coming in very quickly here with this Eight of Wands. So it might be a fast paced week. I just came off of one of those, and I swear trying to just calm down and be very relaxed this week, because I feel like sometimes you ever just have a couple of days where you're so busy and there's so much going on that you feel like you've lived a week in like 2 days. And I feel like I understand that this is the energy of that card, and that's kind of beyond your control. So make sure you're just taking care of yourself, and you're geared up for all that kind of activity and just things that are happening around you. And because I'm sure you can get to a place where you can rest and get over it later, but kind of just be aware that that might happen. Also, that does put two eights on the table for us as well. So you might want to look up angel number 88 and see if that has any bearing on your life this week. All right, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Magician. Well, I hope it's your secret desire, because that's manifesting whatever it is that you want. So, think about it. Is there something that you do want to bring in? Here we are at this new moon. Is there something that you want to change? This could be about changing a habit, changing a bad habit. It could be about making a good habit. If you're doing things internally, it could be, maybe you're going to decide to meditate this week. That's something you're going to add into your routine. Is there something you need to take out of your routine? So that's kind of the personal things, but also the manifesting. Again, like let's say you are in the market for a new car. How are you getting there? Is it because you're the King of Pentacles and you've got that, knowledge about that sort of thing? That very well could be. So you're going to answer the Magician's call with focusing on Pentacles, but you might choose a sword and say, I need to communicate better so that I can get the car that I want. So, I hope it is your secret desire to have that Magician be there to help you manifest something. You might be trying to avoid the Magician, but it looks like a good, a good week to be busy. Got a lot of things going on. So I'm going to say, hopefully that's not the case for you. In your outcome position, Virgo is the Queen of Cups. So also, I think where Leo ended up. So if you're a cross watcher, you may want to look at Leo's reading as well. Or if you have a lot of Leo in your chart, you might also want to look at Leo. There was quite a few similarities. Anyway, Queen of Cups, your outcome is that by the end of the week, it looks like you're emotionally balanced, you're emotionally full, and not only are you just in a good place emotionally for yourself, but you're also really good at just understanding the emotions of people around you and just being that person, being that friend to be able to go to kind of just to connect, or just let someone know, I know how you're feeling. And even if it's just a joyful thing, I'm so happy as well. So whatever those emotions you're sharing with others, that's really nice. And the Queen of Cups would do that. She would be very sensitive to what people around her are going through also. All right, what is hidden from you, Virgo? At the bottom of the deck is the Judgment card. So hopefully, and that's a good place. I'm okay with Judgment being there. So again, I'm going to go back to this creative collaboration and this Hanged Man. Again, it could be that you did maybe have a prejudice or something coming in where you did prejudge something. And here, this hangman again is like I said, if you're working in a small group and you thought a person was a certain way, but you start to get to know them and your perspective changes. So I love that that judgment is not there for you this week. And maybe that's why you end up with that new perspective. So, all right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message this week for Virgo. And yeah, I hope you do heed that magician's call. This looks like a fun week. It looks like you're going to have a very busy, activity filled, a lot going on week. So just take a deep breath and get through it. All right, final message here for Virgo. Grieve your losses. Okay, whatever that might be. And maybe that's that Queen of Cups. You might have other people around you too that are grieving their losses. And it could be that, maybe you have a friend that gets married and they're moving, and then that can be kind of sad. You're going to have to get over that, right? Or, there could be something in all of this busy situation that is kind of a loss for you. But again, remember, your overall was a time to give rather than take. So sometimes things just happen that way, and you do have to just grieve your losses, even if it's a happy thing for someone else and sad for you. You just have to kind of manage it. So, all right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Virgo this week. And the card that you get is the card called Passion. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. Love that. Tell the magician that. What are your deepest desires? Let the magician help you manifest whatever that might be for you. So, Virgo, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if anything resonated, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe really helps me, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you in advance for doing that. And most importantly, it helps you find me next week, where you can come on back and let's see where this energy goes. But that's it. Thank you so much, Virgo. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.